Hello everyone, welcome in guys, welcome in. Hope that everyone is having a good Saturday. We are here today. We got some Lego sets going on. It's the brand new Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack. These came out. So what's today? Today is the 6th. These came out 6 days ago. These came out on the 1st. So yeah, I'm excited to build them. I'm surprised I actually managed to get 2 of them. Just walked into a store, there was 2 on a shelf, and then I bought them. I had to fight off hordes of children to be able to get them, but I managed to get them. No. That one store pretty much always has sets whenever I need them, which is nice. But welcome in lover. Hello. Congrats on the first, dude. And hello, Luna. Hello. How are you doing today? Well, look, I know, dude. That's also the same shop that I got the oh, what was it? The 332nd? I think it's 332nd. The Ahsoka Clone Trooper Battle Pack. I ended up getting mine there a week early. Because they have a bad habit of putting sets out early. But I think they were fully re-rolling their stock just because it was the end of the year. So these came out actually on time. When I walked over, like the shelf looked like a bomb had gone off on it. So I was like, oh man, they're not gonna have any, and these were just nestled away. They were calling my name. They were just like, hey, buy me, Lego, build me. But yeah, I'm super excited for these. we got three phase 1 or three phase 2 plain clone troopers, which these haven't been released since I think like 2016, which is exciting. The shock troopers, which are in the was the Republic gunship, the new one, or the Coruscant Guard gunship that just came out probably like 6 months ago. We got one of those guys, 2 regular battle droids, and then the super battle droids, which haven't been released since like 2013 or something. Lego said that back then that their design was bad, and they needed to fix it before they would release it. And it took them a really long time to be able to do so. But it's cool to see these back on the shelf, because pretty much if you wanted these, it's either you had to pay $8 for one that would possibly break when you were putting it together because the clips were very weak, or you would have to buy bootleg ones, which is what I did. And I have no shame with it. My bootleg ones are really nice. I have all of my bootleg droids are all marked, so I'll never get them mixed up. And they're also marked in such a way where they can't, like, it's not going to be like you're going to look at them from the front and be like, ah, that one's a bootleg one. I marked the bottom of their feet with a marker. But yeah, I'm excited to have some of those. They said, take me with you, dude, pretty much. Like, I walked in, saw the 2 of them, and they were just like, buy me. Buy me. Yeah, so we'll put one off to the side right now. We'll start opening this up. So luckily with this being this early on with these, I was hoping I was gonna get the other bags. So, I'm dying. Interesting enough, I was not expecting weird. Two instruction manuals for one set. I was kind of hoping that we were gonna get the paper bags, because I know those are new. So I'm kind of surprised that we didn't. But we'll take bag 2 and 3, we'll put that back in the box. And we'll just start off with bag 1, which I'm going to assume is probably going to go with the regular. Yep, okay, so bag 1. These are easy enough to open up back, so I don't even need a knife or pair of scissors for them. So yeah, it looks like just step 1 is just build all of our clones. From what I have read, the body and leg printing are the exact same as the Phase 1 blister pack that retired, I think it was the beginning of last year. And that was like an insane deal. That was, I think it was like $15 for it was like four Phase 1 clone troopers, a Phase 1 commander, and then a small little like a mobile command station build, which is nuts. For like $15. But since they have retired, they are wicked expensive now. And I didn't think about picking any of them up before they retired because I did not care. I don't really care about Phase 1 clone troopers too much. I prefer the Phase 2. I just like how the helmet looks better. Like a lot more. So I tend to stick towards the Phase 1 or the Phase 2s. So it looks like got one of those. And those guys just get regular guns, I guess. So okay. So I'll do a quick little review on these guys. If I can get it to focus in and not go nutso. So, there we go. You just got your base regular Clone Trooper body armor. It is printed on both sides, which is nice. Just your nice plain white Clone Trooper. The head is the exact same headpiece that they always use, so I definitely can't complain there. They kind of narrowed it in on what they wanted to do, and it looks good. And then chuck the helmet on. The helmet's good. I like it. Printing is nice. It has the helmet holes in the side for attachments, which is kind of sad that these guys they don't come with any attachments. But that's okay, I guess. The other battle packs come with so many extra that it's kind of okay, because you're just gonna have, like, I have bags and bags extra of those, so I'll be able to use those on these guys. And then this one has the, what was that? I think it's the DC-15. So the longer one, a classic. Been using that for a while since I pretty much got into building these. And then, oh, these guys don't have guns. Okay. And then we have two more of them. So we're sitting with, how did I manage to mess up my camera that badly? Like the course, like 2 seconds. So same guys. It was 3 of these. They're all the exact same. And those ones do not get guns for some reason. So we have what looks to be a little supply crate as our first step. And we put in one of the printed grenades, which I think these things look really nice. I'll put it on that. Show you. The printed thermal detonators. I always love it when sets come with these. They look good. If it will focus in on it. Wow. So. But yeah, we've gotten these before, and the ATTE had these in them. So it looks like it's just drop the thermal detonator in there. And then you put the little cover on. And then it's the little storage crate. That's pretty cool. And now we're going into the first build. Drop that down there. That goes on there. Now we got that piece goes on there. That goes there. And that goes there. One of the slopes goes on the back. Right, so I'm liking how they're starting to do things in the crimson red again, because they stopped doing the maroon, I guess. They stopped doing that because the specific plastic blend that they used with this was very it was very fragile. So after a couple years, it would become extremely delicate and it would break. Which is a problem for, older sets where, like, let's say you got a set that, you somehow managed to find one that was still in box from, 8 years ago. You go to put it together and the piece would just snap because of how brittle it was. That. That one. And that snaps on there. So flip that up. I'll use 2 of these boys in here. this piece on the top to hold everything together. So they went back to using stud shooters again, which isn't a problem. I kind of like them. I think they look cool with the stud loaded into them. That would help if I wasn't putting that in backwards. And they normally provide these like really nice like translucent blue ones, which I like. I think they look very good. Do that, we put that there. And then this goes on here. And then, this is where the two guns are used. Okay. Take that, slide that in there. Grab this one. Take that and slide that in there. Boop. Boop. And then we flip it to the other side and we do the same thing. We pop in one of these guys. That there. Grab one of these maroon pieces, put that there. And grab this guy and put it up top here. That. Then we have the spot for the handlebars to go in, which goes right on top of that. All right, now we're doing the front part of the actual speeder. So snap that in there, pop that in there. That will go there, that there. And that slides in nicely right into that. And then put these triangle bits. One goes there. One goes here.
Drinking out of cups. Being a bitch.
Angel, hello, hello. How are you doing, dude? Hello, hello. Happy New Year. I don't know if I've seen you since the New Year. If I have not, I'm sorry. Or if I have, I don't know. It's been a long day. I need more caffeine. But thank you for the full health check. But yeah, dude, how are you doing? Ooh. Today's stream is brought to you by Blood Orange mixture thing that has caffeine in it, and vitamins. It's very good. What? Oh, right. Do the posture check and a stretch. Whoa, to the back, to the left, to the right. Oh, bring it around. Thank you for the health check. I appreciate it, dude. I'm doing good. I'm doing good, dude. I really cannot complain. I totally skipped a step, didn't I? Yeah, I skipped an entire page. Yeah, I skipped literally an entire page. But yeah, dude, I'm chilling. I'm chilling. How is Valorant been? I don't know if they've done any major updates on it. It seems like a lot of people have been playing the finals as of recent, which is something I picked up because I definitely want to play it. It was also free, so I guess it wasn't really picking it up. It was more of just buying it, just installing it. Nice, set up. Snap the hands in. And then I guess this guy's supposed to be like a gunner on the back. Kind of fit it. So, not too bad, honestly. It's a sleek little build. It's definitely the speeder bike is a little bit lackluster, I guess, compared to like the 501st Legion battle pack. But then again, like the speeder for that one was like that long and only fit one clone. So this one's pretty nice. I think it's more minifigure scale, which is cool. And you get the nice maroon pieces. Little gunner turret on the back. It's kind of interesting. So I don't know. It's not bad. It's not bad. I'll give it like a solid I'll give it like a 7 out of 5 for this. And we got extras. We get an extra one of those grenades, which I always love. I love getting the extras of those printed pieces. Now we're going on to bag 2. I think bag 3 is going to just be the Octopara build. The plastic, like, it's just weird saying that, like, the plastic for the bags just feels so much nicer on actual Lego sets than it does on the rip-off ones, or on the bootleg ones. Like, it's just nicer quality plastic, even though they're getting away from it. But still it's interesting how like it just feels nicer, it feels higher quality. All right, so do a quick little review of this guy. Is the Shock Trooper. These tend to be more of the Coruscant guards, which got they got the red on them. Similar printing on the back to the regular ones. It's just they got some red on them. They got oh god, what was the name of that movie? It's Shaun of the Dead. It was like, you got some red on you. Like, it was essentially just that. But I think they look good. And then the big difference is the helmet with all the extra decals on it. A lot more red. It looks very sleek. It looks very good. I like it. And like, even with the it's gonna be really hard to see it, but the detail right underneath the breastplate, it has just enough shading on it and shadowing, and I guess underneath right there as well, where it actually gives it almost a 3D-ish look if you're far enough away, which I think is very cool. So pop that bad boy in there. We'll give him the binoculars. And bam. It's a Shock Trooper built. So now we're going to go into the droids. Oh, okay, so that's why they say to do it that way. So we just got 2 B1s. It looks like it comes with a ton of extra arms, which is actually kind of surprising. Come on. Oh, I'm trying to get my wrist to pop. But we got nice little crisp connections for the droids. And this one says that we're using 2 of the Twisty Boy arms, which this allows them to actually hold weapons compared to like the old school ones that were only this style of arm rather than this style. I think we got an extra pistol, which is always good. Love extra weapons. And he has his little blaster rifle. So, standard B1. It's just a B1. You can't really change it. They got it right. This is one of the few things where LEGO, I think, has never changed the B1 other than adding in the arm, the twisty arm, that lets them hold the actual blaster. Which is crazy that this design has stuck for so many years. Really the only thing that they could do is like the legs are one piece. So they just kind of, they move as one. If they just cut down the middle. Oh, but then they still couldn't really rotate. I don't know. They'd have to be able to figure out how to separate the legs so they could actually walk. But I don't know. I think this design is good. Other than like having like the actual like joint bend there, that would be an entire another piece. They become a lot beefier, which I think is why they don't do it. Just because if you beefed them up that much, I don't think they would really look that good. Just because they're supposed to be kind of like, I guess not like cheaply built, but like they're supposed to feel mass produced, which these definitely, you know, they got, you know, enough where they could still be fighting, but they are still noodly enough where, you know, one force push will just knock them over and they'll just break. So this one has specifically the gun on the back, which was an interesting choice. I think this is the one that's going to be riding the stab, which might be the decision. They also give 2 extra arms, 1 of each kind, which is really nice. And now for the big reveal, the big exciting piece that the people have been waiting almost a decade for new ones of these. The Super Battle Droids. So, already the legs, you can tell they're much beefier than the standard B1s. Same type of design though, where the feet are connected and it has a single clip at the top. However, these ones, the body is one full piece and the head is on there as well, because the head is kind of like just part of it. So, ooh, that's a solid connection right there. And they also can't bend backwards. What are you doing here? Get out of here. There you go. Which is interesting. I don't think the old ones had this, where it limited it from not being able to bend backwards. It can only bend forwards. Which, I mean, I don't think canonically they were supposed to be able to bend backwards anyway. But still interesting. And then click that on, fold that down. Grab this bad boy, click that on, fold it down. Yeah, so that is the brand new to this year, 2024 B2 Super Battle Droid. I'll have the little gun on the side of it. The plastic is also just really nice. About how it really gets the color of the Super Battle Droid really in there. The back is a little bit lackluster, but you're not going to be looking at the back. You're going to be looking at the front. He's going to be walking. He's going to be walking and shooting. But it's really nice. And you get 3 of them as well, which is kind of insane. I guess it's because people have been asking for these for so many years. They just decided, hey, we're going to give you 3 of them in a relatively inexpensive set compared to some of the other sets that are coming out. Like, if they had put this behind a, like, if this had come with, like, the Coruscant Guard gunship, and you just got, like, one of them with it, and it was like, how much is the new Super Battle Droid worth? It's worth $140. Because that's how much that set is. So if you want to get one Super Battle Droid, you have to pay $140 to do so. Obviously, you're getting the entire set with it. You're getting the other, you're getting the Shock Troopers. You're getting the Commander. Oh, it's not Vaughn. It's not Rex. It's not Cody. It's not Bly. The Shock Trooper Commander. That guy. You're getting that guy. And I don't think there were any droids with it either. No, you get a Padme and a Palpatine, which was an interesting option because technically when you see those that specific type of dropship, it's during the banking guild arc in Clone Wars, the animated series. So during that, it's Padme and Clovis, not Padme and Palpatine. But I think there was never an episode 3 late Clone Wars Padme that was ever made. So they needed that to be able to fill the spot. And then I don't think they ever did an early episode 3 Palpatine either. So it's something that I think they were just trying to fill a slot that didn't exist. And unless if you watched that 4-episode arc in Clone Wars, you wouldn't know who Clovis is. So they just probably went with a more like named person. Being Palpatine. But he has a nice like rather than legs, he has a piece that's kind of like this. It's just a little more like curved on it. For like a dress piece. Because he wears his big robes. It's like, I think it's printed on both sides as well. Like his model is very nice. But was not really needed. So, all right. So, what is this? I think this is the little command station, or the little bunker. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. So this goes in here. Okay, that's what it was. I was like, I'm putting these on wrong. There we go. Those go on. And then got a bunch of these. Doop. 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 So line that up. And then on top, we have this little circle boy. Put that in. Have this piece goes in front here, and then underneath. Put that there just for stability, which is nice. So it doesn't like it technically wasn't needed, but without that there, this would probably snap off really easily. So good design there. And then these guys. I've not seen this specific type of piece before. It almost looks like... Almost looks like these guys could like use it as like a shield. Like take that, rotate that way. Like... Yeah, it could be like a riot shield almost. Which is pretty cool. I think the only Legion that really used the riot shields was like, oh, they were the green ones. They had like, Captain Doom or something like that. Like he had like a really weird name. But they used a lot of riot shields. So I feel like they could do a set with him and his guys with these on it. And then if they wanted to, they could always just put like another piece over the front of it and then have that printed. Or even put like just like a flat plate over it and then have a sticker go on it to make it look like the riot shield. That'd be pretty cool. Alrighty. And then we got another one of these little stud shooter boys. That in there. You pop on there. So, okay. So it's pretty cool. It's got a little stud shooter on there. So, oh god, I'm never gonna find this thing again. Well, you just push down. You push down and get stuck in the barrel. I think I honestly might have just been pushing it down way too, like, oh, there we go. Yeah, I didn't go that far. But yeah, no, pretty cool. They've definitely, this is sort of their like bread and butter shooty thing now. Other than the ones that shoot like the really long, which I don't have any over here, but like the really long, like blastery looking bolts. Little bunker. It's pretty cool. I definitely think it's here because of all the pieces it gives you. You can definitely rip these apart. Like you get a couple of these, you can rip them apart, make something real cool out of them. Something much bigger, much beefier. And then don't shoot your friends in the eyes. All right, now we're on to the stab. So do that. Clear boy goes there. You get a nice CIS dark blue cheese slope. Nice. Oh, that's interesting. The dot right there. From the injection molding. This might be a new mold that these were made on, because I know this is an old style piece. But I've never seen one that has the defect right there on it. I don't know if I can get it to... There you go. With that hole there. I've never seen one that has that defect on it. Interesting. But yeah, that's probably a new style of mold. So then, oh, so that goes there. And then we grab another one of these. And then stick that onto the back. Stick the little grabby boy onto the front. Which looks pretty good. And then push that into there. Then we grab this. That onto there. And then this goes on here. Goes down like that. And then that connects in to there and there. Creating another point of strength on it, which is pretty dope. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm liking how it's coming along so far. So So then we take another cheese slope, slap it up here. And I'm kind of happy that they did this with the clear pieces. Just because they're completely clear translucent. So snap that together. And then just slide that in there. So it has the illusion of it's floating. There are definitely a better option for it where there's a longer one of these would kind of be nice. But I think at that point it would become a little bit like it would kind of fall over, have a little bit too much wobble. So they gotta think the in between of like people that are army building, like the niche people that are army building, and then the people that these are actually designed for, which is, you know, who are actually gonna be playing with it. You need that swoosh ability. I know for the flying sets, that's something that they specifically say where it's like it has to be able to. You gotta swoosh. You gotta be able to get that swoosh with it. It has to be able to hold together nicely, and not fall apart. It has to be durable enough for a child to play with it. So I'll pop both of those in there. Boop, boop, and then proceed to throw it. Now this looks like we are doing the handlebars for it. So snap that. And yet this goes here. Oh God, it's so smooth. I don't know, whatever the new. I feel like they must have changed up the specific type of like resin they were using for this, because it's very smooth. It's very smooth. It feels very good. I'll put that there. Put that there. And then that snaps on like so. Fold it on down. And then, yep, we grab this guy, which is why he has the two sideways gripped hands. Those pop in right here. Gotta stand him up a little bit. And then his feet attach on there. Whoop. There we go. Yeah. There we go. That is a nice little stap in blue. Like, I know some of the bootleg ones that I have don't have these pieces. The old megaphones. I think these really pull it together. They just add that little bit of extra like these are the engines. Kind of like pulls it together nicely. And it looks really smooth. It's really slick. Like this is a very well designed stap right here. So that is the first instruction manual set. So far we have the stap, little bunker, the speeder bike, and then all of our clones and droids. So I'll take those extra pieces, plop them off to the side. Now we're on to the Octopara. Which I don't remember the last time that they did an actual Octopara build. I think it was another battle pack, but it was like a very old battle pack. I think it was the 212th like commando battle pack where they had it was the airborne one where they didn't have this style of helmet. They had the much more like smoother, sleeker ones. Those were for the airborne troopers. But they weren't orange because they were 212th, which is very, very cool. All right, so we'll open up bag 3. Bag 3. This is honestly very interesting how they have all of these separated, because I was not expecting for them to have all your base guys and then the Octopara droid separate. I don't know why they made that decision, but in my opinion, I think it was a pretty good idea. Just in case if you have a bunch of people where they're all getting a bunch of stuff, maybe you don't want, you know, like let's say you get 10 of these, you don't want 10 Octopars. So you can take those, put them off to the side, maybe sell them, give them to someone that you know would want them. Yo, what's up, Vic? How you doing, dude? Long time no see. How was your holiday season? How have you been, dude? We're doing the we are currently building the Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack that just came out at the beginning of the year. Snap that in. Yeah, we have built the majority of the stuff so far. We are working on the last build out of it, which is the Octopara droid. Octopara Tri-Droid. Oh, that's a pretty piece. It's like a sparkly pink almost. Reminds me of that like fancy, it's like Vanique or something like that, where it's vodka that has a bunch of like sugar and sparkles and stuff in it, and you shake it and it looks kind of like that. Or something with sparkles in it if you're not an alcoholic, I guess. I guess that would also be a good way to go about it. Put that in there. And then you submit these guys. I haven't seen this type of piece either. The specific Technic connector. This is interesting with the two crosses on either side, and then this. I don't think I've seen this specific piece. This might be a new piece. I also don't pay attention to other sets and other you know, brands within it, like Marvel and all that stuff. So this could be like a Marvel piece that they've had for years that they've just never used in Star Wars. Yeah, it's a cool little addition. All these were good. Mine were good. They were definitely busy. We had a lot going on, a lot of traveling, a lot of food, a lot of relaxing. On days where we weren't doing anything, because I used some of my vacation time, so I had the entire week off. So it's like I walked out of work on the 21st, and then I didn't walk back until the 2nd, which was needed. Because I don't really do long vacations throughout the year. Mine are very like, they're very, very spotty. Like it's like an additional day here, an additional day there. So being able to just take a bulk chunk of time off was real nice. That goes there. Slide that right up the butt. Alright. I don't know why there's the blue thing at the bottom of it. But looks pretty cool. Looking pretty cool so far. Now we grab the other one of these guys. Grab the red half tube thing. Smack that in there. Oh, these are like wicked tight too. Like there's no rotation on these. Slide that down. Nice. I think you'd pass on traveling a lot if you could. Yeah, I mean, it's not like it was a huge amount of traveling, it was just a lot of driving. So it was just every single day was driving. That was pretty much where we ran into it. It was just driving, you know. Like the 23rd we were driving, the 24th we were driving, the 25th we were driving, the 26th we were driving. The 27th I was streaming, so we weren't driving that day, but then like the 28th we were driving, like, so it was just a lot of driving. It wasn't like, you know, like driving for 4 hours. It was only, you know, a half hour to 45 minutes. but it adds up. It adds up very quickly. So we slide that onto there. And then this, the interesting little pink piece goes inside. I think this is supposed to be like the droid's brain, which is pretty cool. It's also the whole thing with the Lego team, where if they manage to hide a pink brick inside of something, the lead designer's wife makes them a cake. I think this is the entire reason why this pink brick is in here. Because it's definitely not necessary. It's like you take that and then you put the top on and it's gone forever. Pretty cool though. Pretty cool. Just to know that it has like the brain, or I know these things were essentially walking war crimes, because they would be filled with different like pathogens and lethal chemicals. So when they would die, they would burst open into a cloud of death that obviously wouldn't affect the other droids, but like the natives of that home planet, the clones, would have to deal with it. You don't recognize the droid? Did you watch the Clone Wars series? Because I feel like they weren't in the... I have to build it 3 times. Yeah. So they're supposed to be much bigger than this. I think that's what it was. You watched it a while ago? Yeah. They're not really... So it's the one where it would shoot, and then it turns, and then it shoots, and then it turns, and then it shoots, and then it turns. It has like big cannons coming off of it. They're supposed to be like they're supposed to be bigger than an ATTE, like height-wise. This is, I think, just one of the smaller versions, because they came in like 3 different sizes: that is small, medium, and large. And the large ones could take out a tank with 1 shot, and then the smaller ones were just, like climbing on the ceiling, being assholes sort of guys. But they were used fairly frequently. But yeah, I guess like in the movies you would have seen it for about 30 seconds during the Battle of Magito. It's a type of tri-droid. It is the Octupara. Octupara tri-droid, I guess, is also, a lot of people do call them tri-droids, even though the flying one that has like the three things are the tri-droids. Those are the spaceship tri-droids. So there's ground tri-droids, which are these guys, and the spaceship tri-droids, which are the flying ones. The coloring threw you off? Yeah. It's the CIS coloring is supposed to be this dark blue. So I think they were just throwing the dark blue coloring into it wherever they could, which is pretty cool. Honestly, I like that they're giving us more options, because like the specific dark blue doesn't really exist in a lot of sets. So if you wanted to do like, if you wanted to do a mock of something that was in dark blue, like it would be stupidly expensive, or you would just have to find a different color, because the pieces are very hard to get. Flip these over. In the movies, they're gray metallic. Yeah, they're normally more like a dark gray, light gray, and black. Is more of what you would think when you would see an Octupara droid. It's the top ball bit isn't the greatest, which when I get this fully built, I'll show you comparisons to one of my bootleg ones that I think they did a very good job with. It's not I'm not gonna say it's like perfect with how it's built, but it's definitely a lot better than this one. But it's also a lot more pieces. Like, I think the entire piece count for this set is 215 pieces. I think one of those Octuparas is 215 pieces by itself. And that's, of course, no minifigures, no, you know, no accessories, no droids, nothing else, just the Octopara. So they'll actually give me a chance to grab the other staps that I have, so I can kind of show off like a comparison of the different types of them that I have, like the different staps, the different bark speeders. It's been a while. Have I done anything particularly cool? Trying to think. We've done a lot of boot Lego ones. Anything that stood out. So we did an MTT. That one was a boot Lego. So by boot Lego, I mean they're like, I get them for like dirt cheap off of like AliExpress sort of deal. And they're not real Lego. But I have an MTT, which is the big brown like droid carriers from episode 1. I have one of those. And then there is the LAAT gunship. So your standard clone gunship. Those ones are really cool. I got a boot Lego one of those. Well, technically 2, but the other one's still sitting over to the side unbuilt. We got the Commander Rex helmet, which was a super fun build. But for the most part, it's just been a lot of like bolstering up the clones. How are the qualities? Honestly, they weren't that bad. The only thing I would complain about are the Technic pieces. So like these guys, like anything that has like the connectors that have to kind of snap in and have like, I guess this set doesn't really have it too much. I guess like a little bit here, but like that they're very like friction based. They're not the best. But that's a very easy fix. Like a super easy fix, which was just grabbing actual Lego parts that I had in my collection, and I used those. So it was a little bit of modifications, but like very minor ones. But for the most part, everything was good. Like for the ones that came with minifigures, the minifigure printings were actually really nice. Which I was surprised about. That was what I was the most worried on, was how the minifigures were going to look. But for the most part, the minifigures looked really good. We ended up getting 2 AT-APs, which are from Kashyyyk. In episode 3, they're like the 2-legged ones that had like the weird front dangly one. The front dangly leg that would set up and had a big cannon on top. We ended up getting 2 of those, yet again boot Lego, and those were, it wasn't that the printing was bad, it's just that the commander that came with them, I think that one is Commander Bly, both of them only came with one hand, so I had to get spare like hands that I just had sitting around, and used those on it, which was kind of annoying. That both sets consistently did not have the hand on it, or didn't have both hands. But I mean, I got those for I think like $35 when they were like, when Lego was making them, they were retailed for I think $50. So I'm $15 cheaper than they would have been if Lego was still selling them at that point in time. Which those retired at I think those retired at the end of like 2021. So to get one of those sets unopened, Lego would have been like $150. But that was great when you go cheaper. Yeah, it was my biggest worry was like I didn't want to spend money on them and then have them be bad. But for the most part, all of the ones that I've gotten so far have all been really nice. And they've all come with physical instructions as well. That's my big thing is I want physical instructions. I don't want to have to scan a QR code and then go to some like shady website to download something that's probably gonna be, you know, malware. But you know, I've been very lucky with that. Normally it's whenever I go to order them, I specifically make sure that there's nowhere on the page does it say here's the download for the instructions. Because if they have that, it means that obviously no physical instructions with it. And I like having the physical instruction books. Turning into a technophobe. I guess it's one of those like call me old school sort of deals, but it's like if I buy something that has a physical instruction manual in it, I kind of want it to have the physical instruction manual. Yo, Aquarius, thank you for the lurk, dude. Thank you. But I just like having the physical instruction manuals, being able to just, you know, hold it in my hand, being able to, you know, flip it around. If I want to be able to go back to it, I can just go back to it, and I can, you know, look through it later on. So you missed the video game manuals? Yeah, dude, that was always the best part. Like you go out and you get a new you get a copy of a new game. You're sitting in the back seat, you know, you bust it open and you're just reading the manual on the way home. And it got you hyped up for it. You kind of knew what the controls were by the time you got there. Like they occasionally have like a little bit of story in it, a little bit of lore. Like those were always the best, dude. Must be a nostalgia thing because there's definitely something
Drinking out of cups.
said for physical copies.
Being a bitch.
Yo, Starry. Dude, thank you so much for the stretch and the sippy sip, dude. Hello, hello. How are you, friends? How are you? I'll do a stretch. Oh. I'll say, like, for PC gaming, not having the physical copy is ideal. Just because I had that happen where I built... Fuck your mangoes. Why are we fucking mangoes? Why are we fucking mangoes right now? I feel like that would be one, painful, and two, I don't think Mango would agree to that. Considering how we just conveniently have a friend whose name is Mango. Cause like I got Titanfall 1 with a physical copy. Got home, realized I didn't have a disk drive because I just built my computer, and my friends all were saying, don't buy a disk drive, it's pointless. Everything's downloadable. So I had to wait until the next morning. Me and my buddy went out and went to like Best Buy, bought a disk drive, came home, put it in my computer so I could spend 6 hours installing Titanfall 1. Because that game was big. That game was like 80 gigabytes. And this was back in like 2012, which was insane. But they also didn't compress any of their music files, which is why. But sorry, I need to, why are we fucking mangoes? I need specifications right now. I need to know. I need to know. I require information. Ooh. All right, so we got that on there. We got that on there. All right, so they're pretty big boys. Obviously, the legs aren't gonna stay like that, but. So then we rotate that down. Rotate that down. We rotate that like that. Boop, boop. Oh, this should probably go past. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Okay. Yeah, that seems about right. Just realized I had to do that universally 3 times. So, which, knowing me, I was going to mess it up somehow. Boop. Boop. And boop. Alright, then we slide these on in. Pop that there, slide that in, slide that in, slide that in. Okay. What kind of clones are those meant to be? So we have the plain white phase 2. Just straight up plain white phase 2. Just clone troopers. No specific legion, just plain white. And then they're shock troopers, but they're Coruscant Guard. So they already have this style out with the Coruscant Guard gunship, which is something that I was hyping up a lot, and then it came out and it was really small. So I haven't picked one up yet. I'll probably pick one up when they go on sale. But it's not something I've been like really chomping at the bit to pick up as of recent. So, but that's just me being very, very picky on it. Because I've seen people comparing it to because the Bootlego ones that I have, they are direct ripoffs of the 2013 style. Coruscant Guard LA80, did you say? Yes. Yeah, they put that out last August. August, I think, was around when that came out. Dude, it's my problem with it is it looks really good. Everything is in, the dark maroon on it. It's very sleek. It looks really good. Is it red? Dude, it is completely maroon red. Thing looks so good, but it's small. And when comparing it to my other one that I have, my Bootlego one, they're just not the same size. Which is kind of my issue with it. Kind of a weird decision. Yeah, that's weird. It's a shame. Yeah, it's very small. They took out a lot of like the play value in it. Where like the old ones used to have the doors that would flip down in the back, and you had a speeder bike that would drive out, and you had enough room to be able to put a bunch of clones in it and a bunch of, it's just small. It's just very small. It's very detailed and it looks very good, but it's small. So this is telling me to install the Flickfire missiles into it. I don't, we'll do one with the Flickfire missile because we still have another one of these sets to build. So we'll do one Flickfire miss, one with Flickfire and one without. So yeah, so there's the Octopara, which in comparison to a clone, actually is pretty big and imposing. I'm not a big fan of the Flickfire missiles being in here, just because I'm not a big fan of the Flickfire missiles. But it looks good. It looks good. It looks very solid. I'm about it. And then we have, get rid of that real quick. Then we have the little bunker, which is just a little fortification, set up your clone behind it, give them a little bit of cover. I think just with you can really rip these apart and then get a lot of cool pieces out of it. So you can, this entire set is going to be really good if you're good at building your own sets, where you can really just rip this apart and just make something super cool out of it. The emplacement, I like these guys. I like the use of these guys. Also with that red smooth piece underneath right there. It is very clean where it just goes all the way to the ground. I think for this, I would, honestly, I'd probably do something along like these lines. Where I would put, like, I'd put a heavy gun on it. I think this might actually be how this lives now. This might just be how this stays. Because that looks tight. So, I think this is how this is gonna live from now on. It looks better, yeah. I think this is how the one originally was. Because this set, minus this guy, is almost an exact duplicate of a set that they put out in like 2013. Where you had a speeder, you had a stat, you had a little emplacement. The thing looked like a camera. It's like, they're cool, and it's they're stud shooters. So the thing is, it's all about like, you load one of these little blue guys inside of it. If the lighting will fix, there you go. Load one of these little guys into it, and then you have that piece right there, and you just pop it and it shoots. Oh, it landed right with the other ones. Convenient. They've been using these a lot. But I think taking that off honestly just looks better. But yeah, no, I think this is the way that we're gonna go with this. It just looks good. And I know I have a bunch of extras of these that I bought off of Bricklink. So that will work nicely. We got our brand new B2 Super Battle Droids. They look good. They look good, they feel good. They're just very nice. It's just really nicely made. Your standard B1 Battle Droid. Can't go wrong there. Our Coruscant Guard Shock Trooper. He looks good. Your Phase 1s. Call me basic, but the B2 is like your favorite droid. Dude, the B2s are nice. I like the B2s. I like the, it's also, they were very, like, versatile. Because the B2s could have jetpacks. They could have, like, rocket launcher arms. Which were really cool. I might actually... I think I'm going to go snag those other sets. They do exactly what they're meant to do. Exactly. They are good at what they're meant to do. We got our Stap build. The Stap is very tight. It's a very good looking Stap. I love the dark blue, the CIS colors. And then the speeder bike, which is a little bit lackluster in my opinion. Just 'cause it's just small. It's just a little bit small for me, in my tastes. But that's because I think I'm used to the other Bark Speeder. Which I'm actually going to go... I'm going to go grab the other Octopar I was talking about. I'm going to grab the other Bark Speeder and the other Stap that I was talking about. So I'll be back in like 2 seconds. I'm not even going to switch screens. It's going to take me literally 2 seconds. Alright, like I said, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Took me 2 seconds. So we have the boot Lego step, which isn't like the classic Trade Federation dark brown. The only thing I really like about it more is this. It just has a longer piece, so it can sit higher up off the ground. But I'm gonna say I like the newer build more. They're both very similar, but this one's closer to actual like minifigure scale, while this one just kind of looks good. It's also like this one's got those. It's got the old pieces on it, and I love those. So, but they're still both very good. But I do like the newer one more. Gonna kind of push those off. And then we have the boot Lego Octopara versus the new Octopara. The dome piece on this one is much more to the size that it should be. In addition, you can move these up and down, but this entire set probably had the same amount of pieces as the entire set here. So, but they're both, leg-wise, they're actually almost similar. Other than these are 3-piece, these are 4-piece. But they sit about they sit about roughly the same height. It's just the head on this one is a lot bigger. But they both do the spinny. That's the important part, is they both do the spinny. It needs to be able to do the shoot and spin, which both of them are capable of doing. You like the detail on the bigger one? For the Stap or the Octopara? Because, like, I like this one. The only problem is, so since this was the Octopara, it must spin. Dude, it needs to spin. Well, the whole thing is, like, in the series, it has it where, you know, it boom, fires, head spins. Boom, fires, head spins. And it's reloading as its head is spinning, and it has 3 cannons. So it's all about the spinny, the Octopara. Yeah, the details on this one's a lot cooler. I like it how they used multiple layers of these to create that perfect sphere, because Lego doesn't do spheres very well because it's Lego. It's bricks. It's like Minecraft. You don't do spheres very well. But the only problem is the legs, the connections on them are super weak. But that's because this is not real Lego. So like just like putting it down, if it doesn't have friction on the bottom, like it just does that. It just falls over. So, but these were also like, this thing was like, I think like $13, which is really good for what it is. So I can't complain. I definitely can't complain with these. They look good. I got 2 of them. So we'll say this is the medium size and this is the small sized. Because the actual like larger size would need to be like imagine the size difference between these two, and then just put another bigger one next to it. Like, we'll do it like that. We'll do it. It would need to be like that compared to it. I'll put those boys over to the side, and his leg doesn't work very well. I think he was honestly leaning on top of a bunch of B1s that I had. But then you have the difference in bark speeders. This one is just kind of like, I mean, I guess this isn't a bark speeder then. This would be like the Z85 or whatever it is. Where it was the standard for speeders. And then the clones used the bark, which was more expensive, but just a significantly better speeder. And then once the Clone Wars ended, this was phased out, and the Empire just went back to using these because these were cheaper. They were a lot cheaper to make. But just like size-wise, this is not minifigure scale. This big one is not minifigure scale. This one's closer to, I think if it was an in-between of these two, I'd be really happy. But I'm just being very nitpicky on it. So that's just me being the 31-year-old playing with Legos complaining about the scale size of them compared to the other pieces. Yeah. And now we got the second one. So luckily, now that we know how to build them, we can kind of just tear through. I wonder if this one's going to have the paper bags. Because I'm interested. I want to... Nope, it's got the plastic. Which I'm okay with. I'm okay with. So drop that there. I never got into Lego to this, but I love Lego Stars. Seeing the figures. Yeah, it's... So I've always been into Legos. That's been, you know... My brother and I... my brother's much older than I am. So he had a lot of Legos when he was growing up. And then I got a lot of his stuff as like hand-me-downs. Which was okay, because I had a lot of the old pieces, but I was still kind of like, my parents were like, you know, here's a set that you can have every once in, like, it's your birthday, have a set. It's Christmas, have a set. Which was nice, because I was able to, I had the bulk, just basic building pieces from him. But I still had all the smaller, like the newer style, like minifigures and stuff, for myself. But yeah, the minifigures, it's why I army build now. I had my droids, I had my clones sitting there, and I'm like, damn, this looks good. I need 100 of them. Which I definitely haven't gotten to the point that like some people have, because I've seen some people that have just gone absolutely insane with it. Like, I think currently the world's largest set of individual, like, or like the world's largest army was done by Lego, so that's kind of cheating because they literally just made the parts. They made it for that display, but it was like 36,000 stormtroopers, just the plain white regular stormtroopers. 36,000 of them, which is insane. But it's like Guinness Book of World Records, which is very, very cool. I saw a picture of it. But I know there's people that are trying to beat that record. And there's a lot of people where they're kind of like, they're collaborating together. So someone's like, you know, I have 1,000, throw my 1,000 in there. You know, other guy, I have 2,000 here, throw my 1,000 in. Another guy, I have 500 here, throw my 500 in. And then the other guy was talking about it where, like, bless his parents. He spent his entire college tuition fund that his parents were saving for him on Legos, to build the largest clone army. bless his parents. That's all I gotta say is he's like, I went and I talked to my parents, and at first they weren't really about it, and then they agreed and they said, sure, let's do it. And it's like, did you drug your parents, sir, to be able to get them to agree to that? But like, I don't know, it's just, it's so satisfying because it's like from episode 2 right at the end where you have like Palpatine and a couple other, you know, like people from the Senate. I think Bail Organa's up there as well. And then like Palpatine's advisor and people, and they're standing there and they're just looking out over the clone army, and you just have, you know, squads and companies and legions all lined up nicely in their little squares of, you know, like 20 by 20 troopers, and, you know, all over the place. And then the acclimators lifting off in the background, like when they get off yeah, dude, it's so satisfying. Yeah, right when they're getting on the ship, right at the and you can see like the vehicles like walking in between it or driving like in between them. Like, it's just so satisfying. And it's like, I want to do that, but not, you know, not break the bank. It's also space. Like, dude, like, you wouldn't think that like this would take up that much space, but when you have like 100 of them, dude, they take up a lot of fucking space. like clone troopers take up a lot of space. Well, just minifigures. And then you have the vehicles with it, and you have, you know, the accessories, you have the little, you know, these little guys to go with it. Like, I know I have a box alone that has tanks, or like 2 of the fighter tanks, a bunch of the little cannons, a bunch of the swamp speeders, just a ton of builds, just literally just all stacked on top of each other because I don't have space for it. Collected a bunch of D&D figures, which are generally smaller than that. You didn't have many, but it took up loads of space. Yeah. That's, my buddy does, I mean, I guess I technically do as well. Because I do have an army. Well, I have an almost usable army, for Warhammer 40k. But he has like a full, like, usable, like, what is it? You need like 5,000 point army or something. Of Necrons. He has Necrons. They take up a lot of fucking space. Like, I know for my guys, because I was playing the Eldari. Like it's like a foot. Like, my largest unit is like literally like over a foot tall. You don't run a lot of them. Like, I think if I ran just 4 of those, it would be point-wise an entire army. But like, they're just so cool. They're just so cool. It's just the painting of them. The painting is my problem because I'm not super artistic. So like, I'll have a vision in my head of how I want them to look, and then I'll try to paint them and they'll just look like ass. Which is what I ended up doing, where I was building all of my units, and then I was going to, so like, especially with the Craft World Eldari, even their base unit, you kind of have to partial build them, paint them, and then put them together, just because of how like tight like the limbs are to each other. And obviously you can't really move them because it's once you glue them in place, they're like that forever. So it just became extremely overwhelming, and then I stopped doing it. This was also after my big guy. I magnetized all of his limbs, so you could put him in like different poses, you could turn his head. I know one of the guys that we were playing with, like, I sent it to the group chat that I magnetized the head so I could rotate it. And like, his response was, why did you waste magnets on that? And then my reply back was, well, it's either he has a sword and shield, so he stands at one angle, so his head needs to be slightly off to the left. Or if he's running, you know, like a shield and gun, or like a gun and, you know, something else, he needs to be at a more right-handed angle, so the head would have to be turned differently. And then he's like, that's completely above and beyond, and I respect that. I respect your decision. Waste more magnets. Which that was kind of fun, because that was the, unlike, you know, like this, they don't just clip together. You have to like glue them together, you have to get them in the right angles, which is really hard with having big hands, because the pieces, like, when you're dealing with, you know, pieces that are this size, and like small, like this would be a large piece for some of the guys, like, and you're like trying to like get like in like real close, and you know, like glue this to this and get it at the right angle, and you know, I had it multiple times where I would let go, and then I would let go, and it would still be glued to my finger, and I lost a lot of skin putting together those units. Also, most of our Tupperware, because I was individually separating them as I was partially building them before I painted them. And since I didn't finish them, most of our Tupperware containers are currently just full of partially built Warhammer figures in a much larger box that Rika uses as a footrest. Because it's just underneath her computer desk, because we didn't have space anywhere else for him. So bless her for putting up with my bullshit. But yeah, I don't know, like, I gotta have hobbies, yeah. Well, so it worked out when, because it used to be where before we did streaming, our computer setups were right next to each other. So it's like, you know, obviously I'm here, and then Rika was like 5 feet to my right. And it wasn't a huge deal until we started streaming and microphone bleed. So we had to be in different rooms. So we had to take down like I had a little it was like a booth that was like from like a Wendy's that was closing in like the 90s that my friend's parents got, and then they were just trying to get rid of it, and they couldn't sell it to anyone because no one wanted them. So they were like, hey, do you need a dining room table? It's literally like a booth from a Wendy's. So that was set up out there. So we had to take that down, fully disassemble that, put that in storage, and then that's where Rika's desk is. She's like right near the kitchen. But all my Warhammer stuff was on that table, so all of that had to go into storage as well, which luckily I just happened to have a really nice, it's one of those like containers that like when they close they like mesh together on the top, and then when they open they like unmesh. They're like hard plastic. But I ended up getting one of those for free that was being thrown out at where I work, and it worked out. All of my stuff's in there. All of my paint's in there. My paint thinners, paint brushes, you know, crafting knives, tweezers, a lot of fucking glue. A lot of glue. I do kind of miss doing Warhammer stuff. It's just like, it's probably not gonna show it right now just because I've eaten, but like I'm normally very shaky. So like if I'm putting together like anything that requires like, you know, if I'm painting anything, like I can't do that. Like I know if Starry's still here, like Starry does tattoos. If you have not been to her stream before, definitely check her out. She does a lot of like practice tattooing live. It's super cool to watch, but it's I don't have the hands for that. Like I shake way So I'm too shaky. Yeah, actually, I'll give her a quick little shout out just because I haven't. It's been a while. So, oh, nope, I do not want to accidentally ban Starry. Hello, let's do that. But yeah, just chatting. Yeah, I think her last stream was tattooing, but let's do the actual proper. There we go. Yeah, if you don't follow Starry, go follow Starry. Her streams are great. She's super nice. And tattooing live on, of course, like practice material and stuff, like practice skin. But it's really cool to watch, because I love getting tattoos and stuff. It's why I have to do this. Because I went through a lot of as I called it, ink therapy when I was a young warthog. I'm saying it wasn't like, it was like 5 years ago. But I got a lot of tattoos, so maybe one day I'd be willing to show those off, but as of now, unfortunately I can't because they are a little bit unique, so it would be doxing myself. Oh, I put that on backwards. But hands and legs shake a lot, yeah. I found out that if I don't eat enough, that's kind of when I get shaky. So like if you are shaky, just try to make sure that you're eating enough. That tends to be where a lot of like my shake was coming from. Because I could pretty much tell where like I would be able to stand up and I'd be like, all right, how we doing? And I'd like hold my hand out. Or if I went out to like a restaurant and I was trying to figure out how much I was gonna like, was I gonna get something big? Was I gonna get something small? I would just hold my hand out. And then if I was shaking, I'd be like, I'm gonna order a big meal today. Or if I wasn't, I would, order like a regular-ish thing. All right, you used to not eat for long periods. You get dizzy, shaky, then dizzy. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of just like especially like I did that a lot in like my early 20s, where I would just, I'd work a 12-hour shift and I would just live off of like energy drinks, old pizza slices, and like coffee and like stale donuts. It was not good. It was not good for you. I would suggest that if that's, eat food. Take care of yourself. But yeah, it's something that you got just kind of like, you realize like, this is why this is happening, and then you stop doing it. If you're able to stop doing it, it's good to just make sure that you eat enough. Because yeah, no one wants to have someone passing out. That's the worst, and no one wants to be the one passing out either. So do that. Keep that off to the side. So I think my only problem with this is it has, like, I guess if I want my guys to have guns, I have to just take these off, which I'm kind of okay with. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna see how that looks. And then what if I put this on here? Okay, that actually looks a little bit better now. I'm kind of vibing with that. Maybe what if you tuck these underneath here? I don't know. I'm vibing a little bit more with putting the supply crate on the back. I think this honestly fixes a lot of my complaints about it. Like, a lot of my complaints about it. But we'll see. We'll compare it to the other one. You gotta get some sleep. Yeah, dude, it's good to see you again. I'm glad that you're doing good. See you around. I know Rika's back up and streaming as well. And she streams at all hours of the day. So definitely keep an eye out for her streams. I think she might have modified some stuff in the Discord so it doesn't at everyone anymore. It just ats people specifically set to her. So you might need to change that. I don't know what she really did. I don't know how Discord works. I'm a boomer. But yeah, definitely keep an eye out for the Rika streams. I know she would love to be able to see you stop by, because it has been a while, dude. But yeah, dude, yeah, and you're like 4 or 5 hours ahead of us, so like get a good night's sleep, dude. It's been a pleasure talking. It's good to see you again. That there. That's there. So that there. And then I gotta remember to set up the one correctly so we can have the correct arms on it. So we're gonna do the Stap one first. Just because I know this is the one that I'm probably gonna screw up. So do the Stap one first. It is nice that they gave these though, the little clips on the back for the blasters. Yeah, it's a little bit of play value, so it's like, you know, your droid gets there, it gets off its Stap, and it just takes its gun out and it can start blasting. But I don't know, so far I'm gonna my overall view of this set is, because we've already built one of them fully, and now we're just building the second one that I managed to find. I'm gonna say it's like a solid, like, I'm gonna give it like a 9 out of 10. I think if they had just combined like these two together and made one larger item, I think it, or maybe just even like throw in like an additional like $5 worth of pieces and made it $35 rather than $30. And just beefed out these two builds, I think it would be the perfect set. But yet again, that is me just throwing out minor complaints on what is a very, very nice set. It would be a perfect 10 if they just beefed it up a little bit. But can't complain. I can't complain. Do. Snap that. Plop that on there. That. That goes there. That goes there. On the Revenge of the Abyss, The only problem when your cat thinks that your computer desk is his house, is his room, is everything is just covered with cat hair all the time, always. And then we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it on here because it just looks so much better. And I have enough spare blasters that I can just give it to one of those guys and not have it be too much of an issue. I am, however, still gonna put this together. Just because I want to. Put that off to the side, put that off to the side. And now the stap build. So I will say, the stap is super clean. Like, I don't know. I think honestly the stap kind of redeems the rest of it. Like, heavily redeems the rest of it just because the stap is so good. The stap is so well designed. Slide that bad boy in there. Slide that in there. Make sure everything is nice and lined up. Now we'll do a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. Connect that onto there as so? Question mark? There we go. Okay. Plop that in there. Now we go to the base. Oh, interesting. Normally these, this is very, very minor, but normally these plunger pieces up at the top here, this is just like a clean cut and they just deburr around the edges of it. Normally it's much more like rounded. Like, think more like an actual, like a plunger handle. Or I guess just any type of handle that has like a rounded wooden dowel. Hi. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, that's cool that it's a very like hard cut rather than a more rounded one. These both plop right on in. Bam, bam. Very nice. And then I'm going to start building this one out of order because why not? And there's like, luckily the builds are kind of simple enough where I think I could honestly just build these by memory. Just because they are pretty simple. They're pretty simple, pretty straightforward. There's definitely something that I could just kind of whip together without really thinking. Which is good for army building, because with these having, bam, second stat. With these having the phase 1s, and the way that I normally line them up is I think I either go 6x6 or I go 5x5. I don't quite remember off the top of my head. Or at least I try to. No, that's what I do for the droids. I think with the clones, I just kind of line them up as I have them. But like, it's so many clones. So many clones so quickly. In such a small amount of Like, it's like a smaller set too. Like, you get a bunch of clones in a small, relatively affordable set. And with how these types of sets go, almost guaranteed they're probably going to be on sale in like 6 months for like $5 off. Because I know the Ahsoka Battle Pack, the 332nd one, that's already $5 off. Those are $15 each. Which is pretty sweet. So, bam, that's all good. Plop that over there. Grab our other Octopara. Grab our final bag. And we just sort of whip this boy together. And I think this one also would be, like, it's a simple enough build where you can definitely, like, smash one of these together in, you know, pretty quickly without really having to put too much thought into it. I can just do it from memory. My memory's not great either, so if I'm saying I can do it from memory, that's big. Get that. Do that. Rotate. Do that. Rotate. Do that. Rotate. And then we got, oh, no, let me do this one. And that is this. Smack those together. Blue guy on top. And then we slide those like that. Pop that up into the butt. And then we got this one. We got this piece. Crank that one down and in. Line it up kind of like in the middle. So it creates almost like a star with it. Plop that bad boy on top there. Then we go a cool little pink translucent droid brain. Throw on the top. Now we're onto the legs. So that. Those will go off to the side because we'll need them in a second. Boom. 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 Flip it. Yeah, this is definitely one of those sets where you could just kind of whip through them real easily. If you had like 4 of them. And you just smash them all together at once. I would say like they're simple enough and they're bagged well enough where you could just, you know, take 4 bag 3s, put them together. Like, just dump them out, put them into a thing, put them all together at the same time. Because it's not like there's a ton of pieces and they're very well organized. Very, very well organized. That. And then pop that in, rotate that down. And I could always just pop these in, already rotated down as well. Yeah, probably the best way to do it. Considering how that's like almost an entire, it's almost an entire like step just to be able to rotate that down. Bam. 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 There it is. I was like, oh man, I managed to make it through this almost this entire thing without doing the where is this piece? It's sitting right in front of my face. But I do it. 10 minutes remain before reactor 1 is going down in flames. And so we out to the train to rest. Part 1 of the mission is a complete success. So for now it seems that the good guys are winning, but this ain't the ending. It's only the beginning. Come on. Boom. Boom and boom. We get back to the hideout later in the day, and the four barracks acting shady with the pay. I don't need this, fam. Y'all can go on without me. Halfway out the door when Tifa comes up and stops me. Tells me about a promise that I made back in the day, that if she was in trouble, that I'd be there with no delay. And now here I stand, walking out on my chance. So I agree to the mission, and we leave in town, and I bump into a dude named Johnny, childhood friend who found the need to remind me to take care of Tifa. Yeah, I willingly oblige. And next on the agenda is reactor number 5. We hop up on the train and begin to take a ride. But not long after that, we in for another surprise. Something suspicious, they locking down the train cars. Makes it exciting, cause I know it's about to pop off. When we run to the first car, hop off. Near miss, we escape unscathed, unharmed. So we continue right on our way. Gotta move fast, get it done. I ain't got all day, but inside the reactor, we headed to the core. And the layout, well, it's the same as before. And again, when I reach it, I feel another light flash. I'm on the floor, weak, paralyzed, right fast. Get up, set the bomb, bust out the premises, till we get surrounded by soldiers and the president who's monologuing about taking us under. Summons a robot that he calls Airbuster. We triple team it and eventually defeat it, but the explosion rips the ground apart between us. I'm hanging in the balance, and I hear Tifa screaming, I slipped. And that's the last thing that I remember seeing. Boop. 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 Alright, I think, honestly, I kind of like it standing a little bit taller than the other one. So I might end up changing the legs to do that. It just looks better. Let's get these little guys on the ends. Well, I guess not on the ends, more in the middle. But push that in. Snap those down. Pop these on. Okay, I guess that's actually a really smart way to do it, because without those there, if these pushed all the way back against this black piece, they would just snap off. They'd pop forward. So I guess that's a really, really good design choice. It's well designed there. But yeah, so there's that. I'll put together the flick fire missiles. I'm not gonna put them on the legs, just because I kind of. I'm very indifferent with how they look with the flick fires, but that's just me with flick fire missiles. But yeah, so we have one set up for a little bit taller, one's a little bit shorter, just with how the legs were. The legs were set up. And I guess they do kind of like fill a little bit of the void that's around the legs. But I honestly think it just looks better without the flick fires. I think that's how we will go with them for now. So slide those over outside. So yeah, we'll do another quick little review. We have the speeder bike, slightly modified speeder bike that I did, where I put the chest on the back of it that has a thermal detonator in it. I think this looks a lot better, because this is kind of like comedically small almost for 2 minifigures on such a small build. But I think dropping it down to just a 1 minifigure build just looks a lot better. This is the way to go with it, which is probably how I'm going to modify this one as well once we end stream. And then the little builds, they're growing on me. They're growing on me. As Rick was saying, like, definitely snapping these here. The build just looks a lot better. So I think it looks good. It's a nice little fortification, and it's something that I have not had yet in any of my other sets. And then we have the Staps, which both look great. No modifications needed. It just is a very solid set. The little clip for the gun on the droid was nice. I love how they added that in. I kind of wish that the stick here was a little bit taller, but that's not a huge deal. Like, that's a very, very minor gripe. Like, that's taking, you know, like, I'd say, like, these are probably, like, a good, like, 9.5 out of 10. If they had the longer stick, it would probably be, like a 9.6. Just because I do kind of wish that, like, this was angled down a little bit. But, yet again, very, very minor gripe. And then we have the Octopars, which we just went over. Like how, depending on the leg, on how you have the leg set up, you can definitely set these up for different heights. Which is very cool. So you can have it be, you know, you can have it be much taller. You can have it be more of a smaller, like, kind of like scuttling one. But they look good. The flick fire missiles take off by like 1 or 2 for me. So I'd give these like an 8, like a 7.5. I'd say like a 7.5. The domes are a little bit small, in my opinion, but having that like pink droid brain or like toxic gas canister in there is a very cool touch that, you know, it's closed, so technically isn't even really needed. But it's a very cool design element. So I'll definitely give them props there. I think that was a really good idea. But yeah, very, very customizable on it. And then the clones themselves. The clones are great. You know, you get so many clones with this. You got 2 more there. This is just 2 packs as well. And you get, you know, 6 of the plain whites, 2 of the shocks. You know, you're just loaded up on super battle droids, which is great considering how these things, before these released, these things were like $8 to $10 each, which is absurd. And you couldn't even guarantee, because a lot of the time it's the clip that was here would just snap, which I think is why they have that limiter on it where they can't lean backwards any farther, so you can't accidentally go too far and have it snap. That could have been why it was snapping. So that's genius on them to have it where it stops. But very, very clean. And then your regular B1s. Can't complain. So all in all, I'm gonna say this is probably like I give it like a 9.5. Or 9. I'm gonna say it's a 9. In my opinion, make me spend an extra $5 and beef these two builds up a little bit more. But that's really it. Like it's such a minor gripe. So I'm gonna say this is for the first set of this year for Lego clones. Great start, fantastic start to 2024. I know they have some more sets lined up for this year. Just from like hearing leaks and stuff, they do have more clone sets lined up. We don't know exactly what they are yet, but I'm very excited to see what we're gonna have, because it is the 25th anniversary of Lego Star Wars itself and of the Phantom Menace, because that was when Lego Star Wars started, was when the Phantom Menace came out. Which is insane to think that the Phantom Menace is 25 years old, because I remember watching that an absurd amount when I was younger. But very, very good start to the year. Very good, strong set. Yeah, that's it. We're done. I'm just gonna end stream. Okay, bye. No. So we're gonna find someone to raid on over to. There's a small chance that I will be back later tonight. We are gonna be playing some Lethal Company. If I am not back, I will be back with Rika. I know Rika's planning on streaming it. I should probably go over to. Let's go over to the chat screen so you're not staring at my keyboard. But yeah, so we'll be back later, literally like in an hour. We're gonna be playing some Lethal Company. We're gonna be doing some mods with it. We're not gonna be doing Brutal Company, which I know everyone loves, but Brutal Company is, well, it's brutal. It's really hard to play with, but it should be fun. I know I'm excited for it. Rika's excited for it. All of our friends that are gonna be playing are excited for it. But let's see who's currently streaming right now. See who we can send it over to. So we are going to raid on over to we're gonna raid it on over to Buddy Gigi, who's currently playing some Overwatch 2. Gigi's great. He plays Doomfist a lot, so it's very amusing to very, very interesting gameplay. And Gigi's just great. Give Gigi a follow if you don't already follow him. But we got the raid message. We have the raid message. If you are subscribed, hope everyone has a good rest of the night. Have a good rest of the weekend. You might see me tomorrow, you might not, I don't know. But I will see you all on the flip side. Yeah, just have a good one. Have a good one, stay safe. And I'll see you later. Goodbye. Goodbye.